We have a nice power power supply. This power supply comes in this box here. Two foam padding. The power supply comes with the Chinese manual, English manual, useless warranty card. This warranty card is useless because this is only valid in China. So if the power supply fails, you have to send this power supply to China to get a warranty or a replacement, and sending stuff to China is very expensive. So this warranty card is a bit useless. Okay, so the power supply also comes with these two cables, connection cables. Also have this USB to crock cable. So this is banana to crocodile clip. Just two of them. The model of this power supply is SPS 605-2KD, 60 volts, 5 amperes. This is a dual polarity power supply. So this is a 60 volts power supply at 5 amperes each channel. Okay, so there is a hard limit on the voltage output. It's 61 volts, the same on the other channel, and the current is also as a hard limit at 5.1 amps, the same with the other channel. So we have this is the knob for the current adjustment and the knob for voltage. One set of adjustment per channel. Okay, so the power supply can be set to independent. It means each channel is independent from each channel. It can also be configured as series or parallel. And we have a USB port here, 5 volts to ampere. So we have 3 sets of connection here. This for channel 1, channel 2, and the third connection is for the series or parallel connection. So if I set this to series and turn it off, turn it back on again, it does not remember the setting here. It always return to independent. So this is the back of the power supply. It has 2 fans here, and it is temperature controlled. As you can see, while it's on, the fan is not running. It will probably turn on when the power supply heats up. Model SPS 605-2KD. Okay, let us connect this power supply to our DC electronic load here for testing. This is the back of the power supply. I would have preferred if the supply cable is 90 degrees right angle, so we have more clearance here at the back. If we push it near the wall, so the cable is interferes with our stuff here, we will have more clearance if this is right angle. So because the cable will be going this way, so we'll have at least a little bit more clearance here. Before testing the power supply with our DC electronic load, we're going to check the output of the power supply first and testing this switch here, the independent, series, and parallel. So we have 3 output here. So we have 3 multimeter here. This one is connected to this one here, this side, and the center multimeter is also connected to the center connection here, center port, and this one is connected to our rightmost multimeter. So in independent mode, these 2 sockets here is has an output. So you can see here, we have two outputs here. The multimeter has a voltage reading, but the third one that is connected to this series parallel to this connection here, there is no output. Okay, let's switch to series. Independent to series. Okay, so in series mode, we lost this display here, and we only have one display here. It only displays the total voltage setting for each channel. So each channel is set to around 40 volts. As you can see it here, 40 volts on the first channel and another 40 volts on the second channel. And we only have one reading here, the total voltage output of both channel 1 and channel 2. Okay, so parallel mode. Okay, 30 volts, so it means both channels are in parallel. Okay, so this meter here is connected to our series parallel connection here, this one, and we have a reading here on this port here, but there's no output here. And each channel is set to 30 volts, but you can only, I think you can only use this one here. Okay, so you can adjust it on this left side control. I think this one does not work. Yeah, this one does not work. So for parallel, only this controls work. Also, its setting here, can remember the voltage setting and the current setting for this independent mode. So in parallel mode, we have 30 volts. In series, we have 80 volts. So the power supply can remember the voltage and current setting for its mode here. In independent mode, we have set to 61 volts. This is the current setting here. 5.1 here, current setting set on 3.5 here, is set to 10 amperes. So in parallel mode, the current setting, the current output of the power supply is doubled because the power supply is in parallel, and in series mode, the voltage output can be doubled because they are both in series. Okay, that's it for this independent mode. Now we're going to connect it to our DC electronic load for load testing. The power supply is connected to our electronic load now. First, we're going to test the parallel connection here, parallel mode. So these are output here. We have some big cables here going to our electronic load. So this goes to the input of our electronic load here. Okay, so that is set to 60 volts, maximum of 10 amperes. So that is the voltage reading of our this electronic load. This is the voltage rating, 60 volts. I is for current and P is for power. And this is our ripple voltage peak to peak, BPP, around 40 millivolt, 30 to 40 millivolt. So that is our ripple. First we're going to do a 1 ampere load, 1 ampere, 5 ampere, and then 10 amperes. Okay, so this electronic load is set to 1 ampere. You can see it here, 1. Okay, I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to press this button here, start. So the output is pretty stable, 1 ampere, 1 ampere load, 60 watts. This is the reading at our power supply. And our ripple is around 58 millivolt, 50 up to 60 millivolt with 1 ampere load. Now we're going to go to 5 amperes, 2 amperes, 3 amperes, 4 amperes, 5 amperes. Okay, you can see it there, 5 amperes, current 5. The voltage is dropped to 59.89. A little bit because we have some voltage drop here on the cable. So let's look at the ripple. It goes to around 100 millivolt peak to peak. Okay, so the fan is kicking now. Now let's do 10 amperes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 amperes. Okay, so the power supply shut down. Okay, so this one shut down, not the power supply. So I smell something. I hope not. I hope not the power supply failed. Okay, stop. So press this to 5 amperes. Let's turn this off first. See if our power supply turns on. Okay, so the power supply turned back on. We have an output on this electronic load now, so go straight to 10 amperes. Okay, so that is 10 amperes load. Our DC electronic load is humming, it's making a racket. Its fan is on full throttle at 600 watts load, 10 amperes. Okay, let's look at the ripple. It's around 140 millivolt. Okay, is that 148? Okay, so up to around 140 millivolts plus peak to peak. So that is so let's increase the output to 11 amp. Let's see if the overcurrent protection of the power supply will kick in. Okay, 11 amperes. The overcurrent protection of the power supply kicks in. Let's turn that off. Okay, so the overcurrent protection of the power supply is working fine. That is the parallel mode of the power supply. Now we're going to test the power supply in series mode. It means the two channel is in series, and this is the maximum voltage output of the power supply, 120 volts. So the output is here. We have 120 volts. These two terminals here, and that's going to our electronic load. That is our ripple, peak to peak around 100 millivolts plus. Okay, that is the voltage rating on the electronic load. I'm going to turn on the electronic load. I have set a 1 ampere load here. Okay, so that is 1 ampere load. The output is very stable at 120 volts. And that is our ripple peak to peak, 150 millivolts plus. Okay, now I'm going to set this to its maximum current output, at 5 amperes. Let's see the current limit here. Okay, so you have a current limit of 5 amperes. Okay, so this is our setting here, 1 ampere. I'm going to increase that to 5 amperes. Okay, so that is 5 amperes. 600 watts. Output is 120 volts. Very stable at 9.85. And our dipole is around 200 millivolts plus. Okay, now I'm going to increase it to 6 amperes. Let's see if the current protection will work. Okay, so the power supply turned off, the overcurrent protection work. Okay, once I turn off the load, the output in the power supply recovered. Now I'm going to hook up the power supply to test the independent voltage output. This is the independent mode. So each of the channel of the power supply is independent from each other. Okay, as you can see there, it's independent. So each of the channel can be set individually, the voltage and the current. We have the maximum current limit in the current here, also on this side. Okay, so I've set it to 5 volts. Let's look at the output voltage. So it's reading 5 volts here, 4.986. What's that? 1.4 millivolts difference. Okay, so 10 volts. Volts on both channel. So the output is very stable and very near to each other. 20 volts. Okay, so that's 20 volts. 30 volts. Okay, so that is 30 volts. 1.5 millivolts difference to 30 volts on the other channel. Now 40 volts. Okay, 40 volts. 50 volts. 60 volts, the maximum voltage output of the power supply. Okay, so the voltage output had a hard limit of 61 volts. Okay, let's have 1 ampere. I've set the electronic load at 1 amperes for our first test. Okay. The output is stable. 59. Okay, let's go straight next to 5 amperes. Okay, let's turn this off first. 5 amperes. Okay, turn it on. So that is 300 watts on each channel. The output is pretty stable. Okay, so okay, so you have 5.5 ampere setting here. Let's see if the power supply will trip the overcurrent protection of the power supply. Okay, so the power supply turned off. We have a current limit of 5 amperes here, and our load here, our setting here is 5.5. Let's turn this off. Let's see if the power supply will recover. Okay, so once we turned off the electronic load, the output of the power supply recovered. Okay, so that's it for the nice power supply independent channel test. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time. Now let's look at the inside of the power supply. So it looks like we have two identical power supply board inside. So this is the back of the PCB. So it looks like this is the switching relay here. It's on here. We have some big chunk of heatsink here. Looks like this is it a 60 mm fan. Okay, so this is our transformer. The primary switcher is under the heatsink. The rectifier is also, the secondary rectifier is probably under also the heatsink. We have a thermistor here for temperature sensing. So we have a big choke here after the secondary rectifier, and then two filter capacitors, and then another choke. And after that we have a jumper here, and the shunt is here on the okay, so the shunt is in series with the positive line. So the positive, no, it's connected to a black wire, so it should be connected to the return path to the ground. Okay, so the shunt is in series with the return line here. This is the black cable, goes here. I thought it was the positive line because it was near the inductor here, but I think it is not, because this is the negative of the capacitor here. I think it's connected on this ground plane here. So this is the positive line, goes to the inductor, jumper, positive line. It's the same with the other board. Let's see what is the IC. Okay, it's a TL494. So this is our input side. It looks like we don't have an MOP on the primary side. We have an X capacitor, common mode choke, another X capacitor, NTC, and we have a Y capacitor here, this blue one, and we have our primary bridge rectifier here. We also have another small bridge rectifier over down there. This is probably to power this power supply here, another small power supply to power the display.